Hi, my name is Bente, I'm the Norse Witch, and this week's video is another one of my favorites, updates, kind of videos. My last favorites video was in April, I think, but for two reasons I didn't really care to film another favorites or updates video. One, nobody really watched the video. And two, in May and June not really much happened, so a separate video for each month would have been just too much. The video would have been very short, so I will just put 2.5 months roughly in one video, because it's actually right now the 12th of July and I will just put May and June and half of July in this video. And yeah, my Instagram followers decided that the next video that I should film should be a favorites or kind of update-y video. I didn't expect that actually, because as I said, nobody really watched the April favorites video, but my Instagram followers wanted the video, so they will get the video. If you also want to decide about which videos I film, then make sure to go and follow me on Instagram, because I pretty frequently ask my followers over there what I should film. Okay, but without further ado, let's start with the video. What do I have here? I have a good mixture of physical things that I bought and experiences that I made within these roughly 2.5 months. And I will start with an experience, which was actually right in the beginning of May, because it was during Beltane. If you haven't watched my Beltane video yet, I already mentioned it there. Go over and watch it, but come back here afterwards. Yeah, the experience that I'm talking about was my first experience with Seggs Magick. I had never before done Seggs Magick, and I wasn't really interested in it either, because my partner isn't interested in magic and the occult, like at all. So it's not really something that I thought I would want to do. But on Beltane, I kind of felt like I wanted to try it out, just alone, not with my partner, because you can do Seggs Magick alone. I did it, and it felt great, not just because it was sex, duh, usually feels good, but the spell felt great and the outcome was great. So I actually continued doing that regularly. The next thing I have is a physical thing, and that is a crystal. It is this one. I hope the camera will focus. I'm not wearing my glasses, so for me everything is blurry. I will show it to you close up too. I bought it as a silver Eye Serpentine, so I have no idea if it's the correct name. The crystals that I've found under that name online, they didn't really look like this one, but that's what I bought it as. So I will go with that, because I have never seen a crystal like this before. I instantly fell in love with it. The energy of this crystal is amazing. I kind of connect with it so much. It's just great. And when I then afterwards, after I bought it, I researched the properties of this stone, what this stone does, and it was perfect. I mean, first of all, it's for protection, and by protecting you and keeping away like negative influences, it brings peace and harmony, which is always great. But what really resonated with me was that it helps with both mood swings and stress. And especially the stress part is great for me, because I'm a person that unfortunately gets stressed really easily, especially at work. So this one is great. It helps with my stress levels, it helps with my anxiety. I love it. Another thing that it does is that it helps you reach your personal goals, which for me also is awesome, because I don't think I have mentioned that on my channel already, but I want to, at some point, be self-employed with some kind of occult shop, YouTube, giving tarot readings, astrological advice, stuff like that. And I'm working on that at the moment, as you can see. And I'm also thinking about getting back to my astrology studies, because at some point, I think 2 years ago, I think approximately 2 years ago, I actually studied astrology as a correspondence course. It was a uni, but I didn't go there. I did it over the internet. I don't know what it's called. But yeah, I did that 2 years ago, but then I started working my normal 9-to-5 job and I didn't have the time to do it anymore, so I stopped. And I always told me, as soon as I'm working only 4 days a week instead of 5, I will start studying astrology again. And now I'm only working 4 days a week. So I'm honestly thinking about starting to study astrology again. And I thought it would make a great video to like just take you along with me while I study that, to like as soon as I have like finished one topic, to make a video about it so that we can all learn together. I think that would be really fun. Tell me in the comments if you would like that. I think that would be awesome. So yeah, I'm starting rambling again. I'm working on my goal to be self-employed at some point, and this crystal is supposed to help me with that. So that's awesome. And the last thing that it does is that it helps to remove blockages all around sexuality, which is also awesome because I have a lot of those. So I feel like this crystal, I just needed it in my life. It's awesome. If you come across one of these, be sure to get one. They aren't expensive, like at all. It was pretty cheap. They look extremely cool with these like metallic stripes that kind of look like labradorite stripes, and their properties are awesome, so nice. So yeah, the next thing is an experience again that I had when was it? I think it was in May too. I went to the graveyard nearby that I like to take walks on. It's a huge park-like graveyard, so it's not a like standard small graveyard where it's just grave next to grave next to grave. It's more like a park with some graves on there. So I did that. I went on a walk, and at some point I saw this huge weeping beech tree. I must have seen that before at some point, because it was at a place where I had already been multiple times, but that tree stuck out at that day. I don't know why, but it just gave me this wonderful feeling of warmth and protection. It was like a nice warm hug by like your older, very wise mother or grandmother. It kind of felt like the crone aspect, if you know what I mean. Like just very warm and nice, protecting. So I just went to the tree, and there actually was like, if you know what a weeping beech tree looks like, I will put a photo of it around here. You have these, yeah, it's kind of like a big curtain. It's like curtains of leaves. And under there, at the trunk, there was a bench. So I went under there and I just sat on the bench, and I just tried to feel everything, all these energies around there, because it was so nice and peaceful and calm. It just felt like I just got a hug from my mom or something like that. So the energy of that tree was just amazing. It was kind of like I imagine Freyr's energy to feel like. I don't know if she does feel like that. I don't personally work with her. I have no experiences with her at this point, so if you work with Freyr, then please tell me in the comments if that's what her energy feels like, because I always imagine her feeling like that, and it's very nice. It's very comforting. The next thing I have is a book, and it's this one. It's The 4 Elements of the Wise by Ivo, oh my god, I will butcher that name, by Ivo Dominguez Jr. Don't know if I pronounced that name correctly. But yeah, it sounds very basic because it's a book about the elements. it's the elements, oh, such a basic topic. But I love working with the elements. It's one of my favorite things to do and one of my favorite energies to work with. And what I love about this book, I haven't finished that book yet because I got it, I think, in the end of June, so like 2 weeks ago. I haven't finished it yet because I'm reading 2 books at a time at the moment. And I actually pre-ordered this book like 2 months earlier because I saw Matt Oren post about it on Instagram and he recommended it. So I thought if he likes it, then I will probably like it. And I had totally forgotten about it. And then in the end of June, when I got it, I was like, oh my God, it's like my birthday. Because I just completely forgot about pre-ordering it. And I think it's awesome because in most normal like 101 witchcraft books, yes, they bring up the topic of the elements. They probably have all the correspondences of the elements in there. But this book goes so much in depth. It also covers things like alchemy. It just goes extremely in depth on the elements with information from different traditions and paths and stuff like that. So yeah, astrology is also in there and I just love that. I think although I've been working with the elements a lot and I think I know a lot about the elements and what the energies feel like and the elementals and stuff like that, I still feel like I will probably learn a lot from this book, and that is just stuff that I like. Just using pretty basic topics, but going really in depth about it. I love that. Do you think I should make a review video on that book? Would you be interested in me reviewing that book? If yes, again, tell me in the comments. Tell me if you would be interested, because honestly, I would love to make book reviews, but I don't know if anyone would be interested in that. So please tell me about that. Okay, what do I have next? Oh yeah, the next thing that I have is my connection to Freyr, which improved so much during the last couple of months, actually since Ostara. Again, if you haven't watched my Ostara video yet, make sure to watch it. If you have watched it, you already know that I was working with Freyr because I asked him to bless the seeds for my herb garden that I planted during Ostara. And I've been doing a lot of just working with plants. I got a tomato plant, I planted some potatoes and some garlic and like other herbs and flowers and stuff. And just by working with these plants and working with the earth and just having my hands full of soil and stuff, this work with the earth really connects me to Freyr, which I really, really love. I haven't done any meditations on him or anything like that. I just really felt the connection to Freyr by just working with plants and soil and the earth. And I really love that. I hope I will be able to maybe deepen that connection even more. Okay, next thing. Then the next thing is something I got on a trip to the flea market with my best friend. We really love to go on flea markets and look at anything that we can use magically. And I got this. Please don't focus on my face, focus on the cauldron. It is this awesome vintage copper cauldron. And it has legs. It is so great. Oh my God, I love this so much. I really have a thing. Oh, this was probably very loud. I kind of have a thing for vintage cauldrons. The one I've been working with until I got this one was a smaller cauldron, I think, yeah, this big. It's a smaller brass cauldron, which I also really love, but it's, as I said, it's pretty small. This one will probably be big enough. Oh, I just love it, it's so awesome. So if you have any flea markets nearby at your place, make sure to go on flea markets and look for witchy stuff there, because there is a lot. There are also oftentimes people who sell their old crystals and stuff, and you can just cleanse them and use them again. So I really love doing that. It saves a lot of money and you get one-of-a-kind things there that you wouldn't otherwise get anywhere. Okay, and that's it actually for the physical things, for the material stuff. And I have only one thing left, which is another experience with a deity that I had, which was fairly recently, and it was my first real experience with Thor. I never really connected with Thor, just because I always felt like I don't really have anything in common with him, so I didn't really feel the connection. But he like hardcore reached out to me recently with something that I wouldn't have connected to him either, because it was a bird actually. It was a robin, but the European robin. I read online that the American robin and the European robin are very different, so it's just the European robin, to which that implies. Yeah, the experience that I had was that I was on my balcony, like I am every day, and I was looking at my vegetable plants, seeing how my tomato plant was doing, and I looked up, and like right in front of my face was this robin, just flying right in front of my face, just like standing there in the air, like a hummingbird does. And I didn't even know that robins could do that. Didn't know that. I jumped so much. I jumped so much because I didn't expect like a bird that far from my face, right in front of my face, just like flying, standing in the air, which also doesn't make sense because on my balcony I have this plastic net to keep my cats from jumping off the balcony. So on my balcony there's nothing that he would have been able to fly to, so why did he fly like this close to this net on my balcony? And I don't have food on my balcony or anything. My balcony is pretty bare apart from the few vegetable and herb plants that I have there. So that was strange. So after I jumped and I looked at him and he looked at me and we were like, the fuck? He straight up flew to the next bush that, or is it a tree? It's a tree. Sorry tree, I didn't want to call you bush. So he flew to the tree and sat down on one of the branches that was like right next to my balcony, and he just stared at me and started singing and just, it was more like crying. He was like screaming at me very loudly and just staring at me and not moving. And I didn't move, and we were like just staring at each other, and he was screaming at me and I was like, what the hell do you want? Birdie, why are you so crazy? So that was really strange. And after like, I don't know how long we were standing there like that, he staring at me, I was staring at him, he was screaming at me. Very shortly afterwards came a second robin and sat right next to him, also staring at me. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with these birds today? So after a while, they didn't stop. I just went inside and I went on with my day, but I was, that's kind of strange. And I did some research on that, on any deity connection with European robin birds. And Thor popped up, because apparently the old Germanic people, they connected the European robin with Thor because of his red chest that resembles Thor's red hair and red beard. And because of that, the European robin has a connection to Thor, which wasn't anything that I would expect because it's such a tiny little cute birdie and then it has a connection to Thor. But yeah, that's a connection. So yeah, I thought, okay, yeah, it's just birds. It's probably not a sign, it's just birds. It was very weird and it stuck out to me, but I thought, okay, I don't really know if it's a sign because in the end it's just birds. So I had it still like in my head and I was like, okay, maybe I will see another one that does strange things, or the robin will just pop up somewhere else. And I thought to myself, okay, if it pops up another time in a weird place, then it is probably a sign. So I think it was right at the next day, I went on a walk, as I do. I went on a walk at a lake nearby. And there's always this, what is it? It's like a poster wall where like environmental organizations, they put up posters there about different kinds of animals. And what kind of poster was on there? It was a poster about I think, was it the animal of the year 2021 or the bird of the year 2021? But I don't know which one, but it was a robin. of course, it was a robin, and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with these robins? So I went on my walk, and I thought, okay, now it's even stranger. And then the next day, yes, the next day, I was on my balcony again, looking at my plants, and there were robins again on the tree right in front of my balcony, screaming at me. Strange. So that was the point where I was like, okay, that is probably a sign. So I decided to just meditate and connect with Thor and see if it was a sign, and if yes, why, what does he want, why does he reach out to me? So I did, and it turned out it was a sign. Hey, woo! I didn't misinterpret it. Way! So yeah, he said it was a sign, and for some reason he wanted a candle on my altar, a red candle. So I made him a candle. Nothing really that special, it's just a red candle with a Thurisas rune and a very simple Mjolnir on there. And maybe you saw it, I posted a video on TikTok and reposted that on Instagram too in my story. When I lit that, it sparked, like there were sparks flying from the flame. I think he was pleased with the candle. So yeah, now I have a Thor candle also on my altar. My altar is kind of really getting cluttered now because now there's 3 deities on there. But yeah, that's what I have for you today for the last 2.5 months. We'll see how frequently I will make these videos. It always depends on what happens. So, as always, feel free to subscribe and give a thumbs up because it really helps me out. And make sure to follow me on Instagram, especially if you want to also have a say in which videos I post online. And also follow me on TikTok because I'm also on TikTok now. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!